हरिओम। मेरा नाम है दीप्ति सिंह सूरी और मैं योग और आयुर्वेद की प्रैक्टिस करती हूँ शिकागो में। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे आमंत्रित करने के लिए। काश मैं खुद आ पाती, लेकिन घर की ड्यूटी पहले ना। मुझे टॉपिक दिया गया है योग एंड ह्यूमन एक्सेलेंस। I am very fortunate to be able to have yoga in my life from a very early on and have a family that supported me and carried on yoga and Ayurveda in my family. बचपन से ही घर में प्रैक्टिस करने को मिलती थी और मौका भी ऐसा मिला कि एक बार स्वामी जी से हम मिल लिए और वहाँ पे वो बहुत सारे लोगों को योग निद्रा करवा रहे थे। मैं भी पहुँच गई थी मेरी पड़ोसन के साथ में। उस ज़माने में तो ऐसा होता था ना, हम पड़ोसन के साथ कहीं पर भी जाके आ जाते थे, इतना सेफ्टी और सिक्योरिटी की चिंता नहीं थी। और वहाँ पे मैंने योग निद्रा की और जिनके साथ मैं गई थी वो एक नर्स हुआ करती थी, तो उन्होंने मुझे बंगाली नर्स हुआ करती थी, तो उन्होंने मुझे थोड़ा आगे भी बढ़ाया और बोला देखो ये भी बच्ची आई है। तो स्वामी जी बड़े खुश हुए थे और मुझे बोला कि सीखना चाहोगी? मैंने कहा कि मैं सिखाना चाहूँगी। तो उन्होंने बोला बहुत अच्छी बात है। तो उन्होंने मुझे लिखवा के या लिख करके पर्ची उनके साथ में बाद में पहुँचाई और मैंने उसका रट्टा मार लिया। और फिर रट्टा मार के पहले अपने छोटे भाई बहनों को, जो मेरे आसपास मेरे भाई बहन थे, उनको सिखाया, पड़ोसियों को सिखाया, खुद भी किया, लेकिन मेरी आँख लग जाती थी तो पूरी योग निद्रा होती नहीं थी। उसके बाद में हम लोग दूसरी जगह ट्रांसफ़र हो गए पिताजी का, और वी मूव्ड विद माय डैड एंड I started practicing because even the tape recorder was available in those days. So I recorded it on a small cassette and I started practicing it. When my teacher at Kendriya Vidyalaya got to know that I am interested in yoga and I practice yoga nidra, he encouraged me to teach it to younger kids. And that was such a good part on his side, that he encouraged me to teach it to little kids because I did not feel fear. It was a beginning of my practice of becoming a teacher of yoga and yoga nidra. I kept practicing, and I come from a small town in Rajasthan, and I come from a little very traditional community where women are not encouraged to do much. At least they were not allowed to do anything when I was growing up. But it was the practice of yoga nidra, the dreams that I had. I wanted to become an IAS officer, and coincidentally it did not happen. But the wish to do something more and not just be a ordinary woman sitting in a hut in a village, it gave me strength to think beyond, to look beyond, and family supported it too. I was not stopped from going to college. I was one of the very few girls from my community attending the regular college. So it all helped out. But what made it different? My mother wanted me to learn all kinds of household things. I was interested in singing and dancing. I was also interested in reading, writing, playing sports, and very early on I started working on All India Radio. How does a human being does so much and excel in each one of them? It was not that I was a prodigy or if I came to this world with this great mind. It was the practice of yoga and yoga nidra, especially yoga nidra, which made me think beyond, which made me practice yoga, practice anything but do it better. Long time after that, when I was going through a very tumultuous and very abusive marriage, the only thing that kept my sanity, or only thing that did not make me end my life, was the practice of yoga and yoga nidra, especially yoga nidra, Satyananda yoga nidra. I will just put it in my ears, put the headphones on, and I will do it, and everything will be fine. But I kept thinking that somehow I have to get out of the rut of it, and I did. I did get out of that situation. I did start a business from one sewing machine. If you remember, इंडिया में हाथ की मशीन होती है, मेरे पास में एक सिलाई मशीन थी, उससे किसी तरह से करके मैंने एक बहुत बड़ा गारमेंट का बिजनेस शुरू किया था और मैं लाखों यूनिफॉर्म्स बनाया करती थी। जो हिम्मत थी मुझ में आगे बढ़ने की और बहुत कुछ करने की, वो कहीं और से नहीं, वो इसी दिमाग से आई थी और वो केवल योग निद्रा की प्रैक्टिस से आई थी। मुझे ये पता था कि जो भी इसे करेगा वो हताश तो नहीं हो सकता, और जो भी कुछ कर रहा है वो बहुत अच्छा करेगा। So I started teaching Yoga Nidra to many other women that I used to find when I was working with one of the community leaders in Maharashtra. Whoever was getting discouraged, whoever was losing hope, and though they were good people who were very strong women, I used to encourage them to practice Yoga Nidra. And I'm very happy to say I saw it myself. Those women who were stuck in slums, they started working, they did great, and they also started businesses and brought their families up. Whereas others who did not practice were not as successful. These women could buy bigger houses, move out of the slums, and do many better things. Next incidents came when I moved here to America. My daughter was very, very young. And when you move here, you have an accent. Our English is very different as it's spoken in India versus how it is spoken in America. She was having difficulty making friends. She also was feeling lack of self-worth because all of the girls looked like Barbies with her. They were white girls with golden hair, with blue eyes. And here she was, very long, beautiful black hair. For us, it's beautiful, but for that little girl who was 3.5 years old, it was not beautiful. As she grew, she kept having this lack of self-worth, and she started having these not so worthy thoughts in her mind. She was excellent in grades. Her teachers used to love it. She was an obedient student, and somehow she was not able to make friends, keep friends, or she could not be included. It reached to a point that she was bullied by many kids, 70-80 kids, and she had things written against her in the school. That was the time I knew that I have to do something drastic. So I brought her with me, and our dear Dr. Kamakhyaji took her under his wings, and she learned yoga. We also got her certified as a yoga teacher, and when we came back after 3 months, she started teaching yoga at her school. There were so many students in her school that at one point the gym teacher came to her and said, "You cannot teach yoga because you are not a gym teacher." She had more kids in her class than the gym teacher had in her class. Anyway, things went on. She became very strong, confident, and when she used to come home, I used to give her Yoga Nidra, because as soon as she used to come home, because the school starts really very early here, I used to give her some small snack, and I'll say, "Anyway, you're going to take a nap, so why don't I read something to you, do some Yoga Nidra?" And initially very reluctantly, but gradually very happily, she started practicing Satyananda Yoga Nidra. And I will tell you, there are researches done, but I have seen this example myself. Had it not been for this Satyananda Yoga Nidra and her practice of yoga and teaching of yoga, she would not be the girl who she is today. She has perfect scores. She was the valedictorian, which means she topped her high school. She spoke at high school. She started writing for famous newspaper like Huffington Post and Chicago Tribune. She became a Bezos scholar. Not only that, when she graduated, she was accepted in the top level of engineering colleges. All this happened with the consistent practice of Yoga Nidra at home and her teaching yoga outside. Another example that I see from my life, which I know, there are many cases that you have, but I would be just quoting. I had a niece, and she was going through a bad marriage, and she also started practicing yoga, and she started chanting mantras. Now, the combination of the two made her get out of the bad situation. She became an army officer of US Army, but she was still lacking something. Few years ago, she got certified as a teacher of Satyananda Yoga Nidra, and today she's promoted. She's one of the few or very rare Indian girls in a senior position of US Army, and she has become extremely confident. She has great leadership skills. She already had leadership skill, but now it has given her a different excellence in her day-to-day dealing with people and how she executes the job that she has to do, and everybody is very happy around her. So I will recommend that all of you who have come here today, all of you who are listening to me, introduce Satyananda's Yoga Nidra. Introduce 4 stages initially. Gradually you can go to 8 stages. I will strongly recommend Satyananda Yoga Nidra. There are many other Yoga Nidra. I really value Satyananda Yoga Nidra and Sri Swami Rama's Yoga Nidra. Others are good, but I will rather stay with these 2 because these have methodical changes in the human mind. What you can do, how you excel in whatever you want to do through this practice, it's not going to happen with any other visualization, not to this level. Well, you will be relaxed and you will feel some benefit, but you cannot be so great by doing other visualizations. How about we introduce this Satyananda Yoga Nidra to kids in middle school, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade? I started teaching at that age. We can at least start them from practicing it. They can get better scores. They can excel in anything that they want to do. They do not have to be 100% in math, science, and whatever board exams that people are preparing these days for. And there is so much pressure. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to just be an engineer or I don't know what other professions are going on in Bharat right now. But you can pursue any trade. A little girl who's today hemming clothes and putting buttons on the clothes, she can become a famous designer. A little boy who's tinkering around with these battery operated toys can become a creator of a new kind of a automobile or work on spacecraft. Any profession, they can take it to a level which is unimaginable to us at this moment. So introduce Yoga Nidra. I know there is yoga poses that are being taught in schools, but practice of Yoga Nidra is really going to awaken that self which is deep inside all of us. It will take us to the level which we cannot even imagine that we can do. Why do I so strongly support it? Because I have done that. I come from a very conservative small town, and here I am. I'm very global. And it's not that I went to I did not go to Harvard or Stanford or IIT, but today I can do anything that I set my mind to. The strength and the excellence that I have got it through Yoga Nidra. So please do consider teaching and learning and practicing Yoga Nidra. I hope you do that. मुझे आपके यहाँ आकर के बोलने का जो मौका दिया उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी लोग स्वस्थ रहें, सुखी रहें और बहुत सारी इस तरह की कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में आते रहें। और कामाख्या जी आप बहुत सारी इसी तरह की कॉन्फ्रेंसेस ऑर्गेनाइज करते रहें ताकि इतनी दिव्य आत्माएं सब आकर के बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें करते रहें। हरिओम।